Containerizing food was important. Containerizing food was important. Containerizing food was important because it helped to create privileged classes, to create privileged classes, to create privileged classes, and eventually to undermine the communal nature, and eventually to undermine the communal nature, and eventually to undermine the communal nature of food gathering and preserving, of food gathering and preserving, of food gathering and preserving. As Rousseau in the 18th century, as Rousseau in the 18th century, as Rousseau in the 18th century well understood, the ability to preserve a surplus, the ability to preserve a surplus, the ability to preserve a surplus led to private property, led to private property, led to private property, and to privileges for those controlling, and to privileges for those controlling, and to privileges for those controlling the most productive land, the most productive land, the most productive land, and largest surplus, and largest surplus, and largest surplus. This power did not always come, this power did not always come, this power did not always come from conquest or theft, from conquest or theft, from conquest or theft. Despite claims of anarchists, despite claims of anarchists, despite claims of anarchists, such as Pierre-Joseph Proudhon, such as Pierre-Joseph Proudhon, such as Pierre-Joseph Proudhon. More likely is that elites acquired power, elites acquired power, elites acquired power from their roles as overseers, from their roles as overseers, from their roles as overseers of the distribution of communal stores, of the distribution of communal stores, of the distribution of communal stores, especially of food, especially of food, especially of food. Hunters, hunters, hunters of fish, reindeer, grass seeds, and much else, of fish, reindeer, grass seeds, and much else, of fish, reindeer, grass seeds, and much else, worked more efficiently, worked more efficiently, worked more efficiently when organized into groups, when organized into groups, when organized into groups, to dry and preserve these goods, to dry and preserve these goods, to dry and preserve these goods. Aggrandizers must have competed, aggrandizers must have competed, aggrandizers must have competed for control over this surplus, for control over this surplus, for control over this surplus, and the collectivities, and the collectivities, and the collectivities that made it possible, that made it possible, that made it possible. Power and prestige could be consolidated, power and prestige could be consolidated, power and prestige could be consolidated by controlling food stores, by controlling food stores, by controlling food stores, used to fuel public festivals or emergencies, used to fuel public festivals or emergencies, used to fuel public festivals or emergencies. People who could store, people who could store, People who could store surplus food, surplus food, surplus food, and use it, and use it, and use it, were able to reinforce, were able to reinforce, were able to reinforce their power and influence, their power and influence, their power and influence.